Hey guys, what is up? Big Red Reviews here, back again with another podcast with my good friend, 6'10". He's sexy. Ladies, he is not single. Don't even think about it. He's mine. Logan, thanks for coming on the pod.
Happy to be here, man.
First time.
Yes,
How you feeling? We're
feeling
talking?
good, yeah.
What are we talking about today, Logan?
We are talking about The Boys.
The Boys. It's over. It's over. No more boys, guys.
No more.
It's over. But did it end well? Did it not? That's what we're getting into because it's been a very controversial final season.
It has.
I think it's been a little overhated, but we'll get into it. We'll get into it right now.
100%.
We will be ranking the seasons, but this will be later on because low-key, me and Logan forgot some of the... It's okay, guys. It's been like 6 years, all right? Give us a break.
I remember the first time we watched it, we were in like... That was when we were in Christian's room, right?
That was season 3, even.
That was,
so, like,
yeah.
1
we watched,
and 2
like,
was...
the last episode of season 3 was like the first thing I think I'd ever seen.
Funny story. Wait, really? Season... Oh,
whatever it was.
So yeah, let's do a story time of how we got introduced to the boys. Christian put me on.
He put me on too. From that, 100%.
He's gonna love that glaze. But yeah, I remember walking into his room. We were at his house, and it's the finale of season 2. We're telling spoilers, by the way, so fuck off if you don't like spoilers. It's over. I walk into literally the mom dying from Stormfront and the pinnacle of season 2, and I'm just like, oh. I mean, it was a good way to get me into it, but I was like, oh, okay, well, fuck it.
And then we watched the episode, and it's just Homelander, like, when he's storming the house and killing all of the agents inside the house.
Where's my son? Yeah.
So that was my introduction to The Boys.
Right. So then we went on to binge it, and then the only other memory I like of this was season 3's finale, because it came out the same day Stranger Things finale came out, and that was the day before we went on the cruise. So then we sat in your movie room and we watched that 2-hour-long Stranger Things. Stranger Things is a whole nother topic because that show fell off a cliff. Anyways, we watched that finale and The Boys, and it was like... No, there was 2 episodes, so we were there for like 6 hours.
Literally 5 or 6 hours.
I was just like... we had to leave on a cruise the next day. I was like, we're watching this now because I'm not waiting a week. Yeah. But those were great times. That was like peak Boys. But we're going to talk about the final season right now, and we're going to talk also about the finale, because I feel like the final season itself has a lot of problems, but I think the finale is pretty good. What do you think about the season as a whole? Do you think there's problems with it? Do you think there was...
I think it was good. I just think like some things were rushed and some plot points weren't like fully explored in the way they should have been. And it's like one of the biggest problems is the like Gen V characters. I feel like I hate how we got introduced and almost feel like they're going to be pivotal, and then they're just fucking off in some cabin.
Driving to Canada.
Yeah, and it's like
not even all of them, it was just 2 of them.
I know, and like honestly, they could have just been admitted. Like, why not bring it in if they're not going to be more of like, you know, a plot point in that way?
Is that your biggest gripe with the season?
I wouldn't say, I don't know if that's like my biggest gripe, but it just bothered me because I love Gen V and I like those characters, and I think there was a lot to like explore there, and like, you know, they could have kind of been a part of the team a little bit, you know, especially with some of these missions. I mean, they needed more manpower.
Right, like you could have used like the girl who's the one who can go between guy and girl, like her power is pretty calm. Obviously Marie is like a S tier level soup. Now, I was scared going into it that we were going to use them too much. I was scared like Marie was going to be the one to kill Homelander. I was like, no, because going in, I had some precedence going into this season. I was like, okay, the season can be as long as Butcher's the one to kill Homelander, and I want to see Homelander be a bitch for like a few minutes. That was like the 2 things I really wanted to see, and we ended up getting that. But I agree with that, because especially since they didn't use the virus, Gen V is almost pointless if you really think about it, because like they didn't use the virus, and Marie didn't, like, Marie could have easily been in that final battle, like, holding him with the blood and shit. That would have been, like, and then that's it. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like they could have done the final battle better, which we'll get into as well. But, yeah, and now, obviously, Gen V's canceled, which they didn't know was going to happen when they were filming this season. I think, like, they would have been a little different, which I hope we see these characters again, because I do like that. I think Marie is cool as shit. Like, some people don't like them. They think they're cringe, but, you know, it's just a different, it's Gen Z, Gen V, you know, and then, yeah, I wish we saw more of them. I feel like they could have easily put him in there. I think Soldier Boy took a lot of screen time this season for nothing.
Absolutely.
He didn't feel like he did and didn't feel like Soldier Boy, because like Soldier Boy season 3 like had PTSD. He was like really, you know, he's a fucked up guy. He's like a racist idiot, but like you could tell like and the only thing that kind of went into season 5 was like he was trying to be a better person, but that went nowhere because then he just got frozen again.
Stuck into the box again, and then we don't see him again.
That which pissed me off too, because they could have easily just had him instead of Kimiko at the end, and they could have easily just been like, listen, like, you have all these mistakes you did, just do this one thing and help us take down Homelander. We will not trick you. And again, that's actually a plot hole, because remember in season 3, he's gonna try to depower Homelander, and Butcher's like, don't kill Ryan. Kimiko does it, and Ryan doesn't die. Right. So was because I think we're forgetting in season 3 that blast is like a nuke. That shit blows Hirogasm up out of the. Now again, it's Kimiko and it's Frenchie's little like in the bunker doing it, so maybe it's not 100%. But there's a lot of issues like that, power scaling, like
continuity with that as well.
Let's just get into the finale quick because there's a lot of continuity where it's valid, right? Homelander takes a dude to space in 2 seconds. 2 seconds, right?
Yep.
And when he's flying out of the Oval Office, it's like me jumping. It's that slow. Now, I think it's like, oh, maybe they're slowing it down for us. Obviously, it's harder to film like Ryan coming in at top speed, but that was crazy. Also, episode 1, probably the best episode of the season, by the way, minus the finale where they're in the camp and A-Train and all that, which we'll get into. But he slices Kimiko in half. And then in this, he literally lasers her in the chest and nothing happens. So I don't know if that's like because of the experiments. I mean, apparently they mentioned in season 3 that because of them like experimenting on Soldier Boy and giving him that, he became stronger, which I guess like if you expose V to that, it makes sense. They don't explain that well.
No.
So that, and also like I miss Butcher's old powers. I think he was way stronger as the Homelander duo than the cancer tentacles.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was that bad. I think it could have been way worse. I think people went into the finale hating it because of the season, and I think so. People, even though it was good, like people just hated it.
Yeah.
So the big thing is Homelander's death. I think they handled it very well.
I would agree.
Do you think so?
Yes. So obviously, like you mentioned, like I think we needed to see like Homelander's insecurities come out and like the kind of person he really is, because that really, like, he got torn down in front of the entire world. Like it was broadcasted, and so. It was like not only did they kill him, but it was like a whole character death.
Humiliation
in one.
Ritual,
yeah, like it was a ritual. So they like, I just liked the way he basically got torn down to nothing and he got killed because it felt like it like wrapped up his character and kind of showed, you know, the full flaw and tragedy of who he was. So again, I have no problems. Obviously, Butcher had to kill him. Like anyone else doing it wouldn't have been right. I mean, that's what 5 seasons led up to.
Exactly.
That's exactly what needed to happen, and
it's from the comics too. The crowbar and him saying like you're not nothing, and that's for Becca. I'm so happy that happened, and yeah. I mean, some people online you can really tell who understands. I'm not trying to sound like one of those Rick and Morty fans. Like this is for a high IQ person, but you can really tell who pays attention because people again. Everyone wanted Homelander to go crazy, and I think I kind of agree. I wish there was a leaked script that came out 2 days before the finale that everyone thought was real, and it actually sounded really cool. It was him at the White House, and the like military's throwing everything they got, and he's just going crazy, and he was gonna give like a speech, and then he pulls like a baby out of the fucking pregnant woman. Like, I feel like if we had to see like one scene of him going, because like, again, I kind of see both sides. One hand, they have been teasing him going fucking crazy the whole show, like but then again, like. That's like the tragedy of Homelander, where he doesn't really deserve that. I don't think. And someone made a good point online. They were like, you know, we remember people like Hitler and stuff for these bad things, and like Homelander almost wanted to be remembered. So the fact that he just kind of went out without doing that because he's a bitch, I think that's kind of cool. But and then him, I was gonna say something else about Homelander. They were like, him begging and saying I'll suck your dick, like that's not Homelander. I'm like, that's literally the 5 seasons of Homelander is he's a bitch. And again, I'm not trying to sympathize with Homelander because he's not a good person. He's a rapist. He's a murderer. But like, it's almost kind of sad. I see edits where like they're showing him begging, and it's like the picture of like the little kid with the blanket from season 1 who's in like the stone cold exterior, and it's sad. It is sad because it's like that was John at the end. Like Anthony Starr is probably one of the best actors. I think. I'm in the crowd. There's a debate going around like what's the best comic book villain like acting wise, and obviously Heath Ledger's number 1. There's a crowd going around that's saying Anthony Starr, and I kind of agree, just because Heath Ledger, yes, he's a great actor. He was great. He was playing a character that like kind of already had like a bait.
And
like,
we talked
about this before when the finale came out on the phone. You called me that night. You were like, Anthony Starr made Homelander. If they ever remake The Boys, like literally, he's the foundation of who Homelander is, and you'll never beat it. I mean, his facial expressions, like he honestly carried the fucking show, and the show's not bad. But he's like, anytime he's on screen, like and the memes were carrying it, like so his acting at the end there, where it's not Homelander's voice, he's like slurring his words, he's stuttering, like that was like John. I like to think that was John, like as a human, you know. But I'm so glad he went out like a bitch. I'm so glad, like and people were like, we should have kept him alive. I don't think so, like. I wish we got a little more with him, like as a human, maybe like just fucking around with him. But if you keep him alive, there's always the chance he can go and get V again. And if he gets V after that, then it's fucking over. So I think he went out good. I think Butcher went out really well because I guess the virus was that. I guess you could argue the virus was important.
It was pivotal just to that, but at the same time, I'm sure there's some other wraparound to like get to that conclusion.
Do you agree with Butcher? I kind of agree with Butcher.
I don't disagree with Butcher. I don't disagree because at the end of the day, where there's soups, we've seen like where there's soups, there's problems. There genuinely is. And
there's still a lot of bad soups.
Because they exist, it means that there's going to be more soups.
Yeah, and then Vought's. I mean, soups are like the second villains because then Vought obviously is like one, and Stan Edgar's back as CEO, which I don't. Again, this is the thing where like. I get it's like happy because I know Homelander was like at the core like Vought's evil, but it's never gonna be as evil as it is with Homelander, and I think Stan, even as bad as he is, understands like they have to have regulations for soups. I think he says that at the end. But then you have the scene in episode like 3 where MM's like, if you ever become Vought CEO again, I'm gonna put a bullet in your head. So now like okay, it's his happy ending, but he's there. So it's like, what happens now? I really do hope we get more like. Again, like we have Vought Rising, which that's another thing people talk about. Is this season was just a setup for Vought Rising because it's like Soldier Boy trying to find his OG V1 friends that are going to be in the show, and it felt like set up for this prequel, which I kind of agree, honestly. And that's like what a lot of shows do now. Like Walking Dead did that, where like The Walking Dead ended, and then it was like setting up 3 spinoffs. It's like no, just end the show, like end the main show. And then we have The Boys Mexico, which is coming out, which I think it'll be cool to see post The Boys how this world's reacting to like. Homelander being gone and what Vaught's doing and but yeah, that kind of pissed me off that Vaught's still like around. I kind of really wish Vought just fucking died.
Yeah, like because I don't really understand the need for the organization at this point. Like we've seen like at the end of the day, yes, they didn't intend for Homelander to be like that, but they put Homelander in a position for that to happen.
Yes.
So obviously there's some problem within that company. So it's like. To be able to rebound from something like that, I feel like is almost slightly unrealistic.
Right.
Because it's like at that point, like all the like crimes all these soups have committed have all been to light, and it's like this is the company that created them.
Yeah.
Like you would think there would be some sort of like repercussion,
liability or whatever.
It's like I don't know how a company physically survives, but it's literally just the money reasons.
Oh yeah,
they talked about it, like all the sponsorships. This
is the biggest company in that world. Like,
exactly.
And we know how billionaires are, and it's obviously like especially our generation knows like we hate them. So it's like
eat the rich.
Yeah, even though like I want to be rich, I don't want to be that rich. Like there's too many problems with that, but. Yeah, we know this is like the most evil company in this world, so I really hope there's like repercussions. Like, I don't think because I see people online like, oh, they're gonna make another Homelander. I really, as much as they're evil, I really don't think they're gonna do that again. I mean, Stan Edgar alone hated Homelander, so it's like I feel like they know better. At least they know better not to do Homelander. Like now they have to figure out. I don't think they're gonna make any more V. I don't think they can make any more V. Right?
I don't think so either.
They only have a certain amount because from Vought. I think what should have happened was I think Sage should have made V1. Like 2 vials, giving it to or Kimiko and Annie, and then just fucking purge the rest, or just maybe kill Annie. It's tough. I mean, someone made a good point. Kimiko sacrificed herself with the virus. She just depowers. Someone was like, "Why didn't she just depower Annie?" And then you do the virus, like depower Annie and Butcher, and then you do the virus, and then boom, they're not dead.
Right.
Or like Marie, you can depower Marie even like. The few good ones are in our group, and then you do it. I think that would have been cool too. I feel like genuinely Butcher was right. I think all these soups need a fucking purge, and then I think they should have because the promotional material is Butcher standing in front of Vought Tower falling over. We don't get that. I genuinely think Vought Tower should have fucking like blown up, and I think Vought should have been done with. Yes. Again, we don't know if they have plans for that or not, but. And then Soldier Boy's not even in the fucking finale. He's just frozen.
That was ridiculous.
Because Homelander that was like probably like the biggest character part I didn't like, where Homelander just like chokes him and Soldier Boy's just like, what the fuck? Which I guess Homelander is more powerful than Soldier Boy because in the Hero-gasm fight he is pinned down, and then that's when Butcher's like, oi, and then he walks up. So I guess it's whatever. But that pissed me off. We don't see him again. So because they're saving him for Vought Rising, he's gonna come out at the end, and then like they're in the tower at the end, and you don't like. No one even mentions Soldier Boy. The only time they mention Soldier Boy is like, oh, if he shows up, because I guess they thought he like slid or whatever. But I don't know. I like Butcher's death a lot. I like that he like saw his brother and Huey, and he was like, and then that's the other lingering question too. So he lifted his finger off the trigger, right? Carl Urban says, the actor, he says he thinks Butcher would have still gone through with a bunch of it. It's just in that moment he did it. Other people think no, he was actually going to stop. Do you think he was? I don't think he would ever stop. I think maybe in that moment he was, but I think Butcher's too far gone.
Yeah. At the end of the day, I think Butcher's conviction, and I think that's like part of like his character is like we've seen through and through that his conviction is real and like his like because again essentially the whole story about the boys is just revenge.
Yes.
So they want revenge for the way they've been wrong for Soups, and I think we knew like after season by season like Butcher would do anything for his revenge, and so he feels completely done wrong by Soups, and you know, at the end of the day, yeah, it was Homelander, but it was a soup.
Right.
And so I think his conviction, like, I think he pushes that button. Like,
I think so too. Maybe not like right at that moment, but I agree. I think he really does. And it's so nice. A nice little detail that some people did miss was like, he tells like Huey like, oh, I was gonna do it because Huey didn't see the finger lift, so he was kind of giving Huey like, because Huey could have had that guilt like, oh, he was gonna do it and I shot him, you know, and I really liked that. And the whole ending with him and he's buried next to Becca was nice, and I really liked the dog dying. I don't like it, but like the dog dying, people didn't understand that. Like the reason why we saw this dog in the earlier seasons, like or in the earlier episodes, like with that POV episode, people were like, "Oh, this is filler." No, it's showing like this is the last thing that's tying him to Becca, and this is his humanity. Like they really set up when we get that scene and when he eats the chocolate and he throws up and he's like, "Oh, you know, I'm here," and we see Huey looking at Butcher do this. This is like Butcher's humanity. So when this dog dies and Ryan just told him off, it makes so much sense where Butcher's like, no. And I think Butcher went to that tower to die. I think he wanted to die. He's done. He did his job. He wants to be with Becca. He knew Huey would follow him. He's like, traffic late. You know, he knew it. So I think he went to that tower, honestly, to die. Yeah. Now, he would have pulled the trigger. But I think his number one priority was just...
Because at the end of the day, there's no, happy world for Butcher after all this. Like, his wife is gone. It's not even his son.
Him and the boys really aren't, friends. Like, they're not best friends. Like, they're just acquaintances. Like, he's fucked them over a lot of times.
Exactly. So it's like there was never going to be a happy ending for Butcher. He essentially burned his whole world to the ground. So it's like he needed to die.
Right.
Like there's no flash forward episode where it's like Butcher's like a manager at like a fucking pub or something. You know what I mean? Like
no, he's either doing drugs or something. You know.
That's what I mean. Like so there was never a happy ending in the future for him, and that's why it's like the only plot point left for them to do is him to basically want to kill all the Soups. Right. And obviously, Huey feels away because he's married to a Soup. So it was set up like that it had to happen. Yeah.
100%, I agree. But yeah, you mentioned Stewie. Huey, and I like that it ends with him. It ends right where the first episode started. Piano Man's my favorite song of all time. So the fact they were playing Billy Joel this whole show, I'm like, we don't get Piano Man. And they played it at the end, which I think was a great fit. And we see him and Starlight doing this business, which is cool. Now I'm confused because Ryan was a big deal because he was the first Soup born without V. But oh no, I'm stupid. Never mind. He was born. He didn't need to get injected. Because I remember Translucent had a son. We see him in this season, and I was always like, wow. But I guess he injected him. Because I remember I was confused in season 4 when they say Starlight had an abortion. And I was like, wait, Soups can get pregnant? I was like really confused for a little bit, but I think I'm just stupid. So, she is pregnant. She's fighting crime while pregnant. I don't know if that's safe for the baby.
I don't, and like, what is that? Is she like a vigilante now?
Yeah, I think she's just keeping the city. Like, I think because she always wanted to actually remember in the earlier seasons, they were faking the saves, and she's like, I really want to actually save people. So I think she's like, this is what she actually wanted to do, and I think it'll be cool. I think she'll be a beacon of now. It's interesting because, Homelander looks like a fucking freak, but they've been against Starlight for 2 years in world now. So it's like, is that just dropped out of nowhere? Everyone's like, oh, Starlight, I love you. Like,
they did not explain her redemption.
They went really extreme with their differences. It was like people were killing each other over this. So again, I wish we got more. I wish this episode was in the middle. And then we get the whole wrap up. I feel like
it's that's the rush part. I feel like we're talking about is they wrapped up everyone's conclusions in 10 minutes.
Right. And we're getting a whole episode of Bomb Sight. Who the fuck is Bomb Sight? That's for Vought Rising. It's we got now the episode was funny where they went to those actors and he was like get the fuck out of my face to Seth Rogen. That was pretty funny. But again, people make good points. This just seems like stuff that would be in season 4, not the fucking final season. And then my biggest thing that I hated was he gets V1, which is a great scene where he gets V1 and then Butcher's actually fucking scared now. And then it just cuts to him at the White House at the next episode. He's just sitting there. He's like, yeah, we're going to do milk and honey. And it's there's no like connectivity there. It's like,
right.
and I think they didn't explain V1 enough because the consensus is when you get V1, you get more powerful, which that's not really it. Mm-hmm. When you get V1, you just become immortal. His whole reason was getting V1 was so nothing can kill him.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people were confused online, like, oh, he should be stronger. I'm like, no, actually, like, that's not what V1 really does. But they didn't really explain that well.
Honestly, I never was confused about that. To me, it was always...
You're smart.
Well, no, not that. It's just... I feel like the way they talked about it, like the whole thing is like Homelander just felt like he was missing the immortality, and so it was just getting it to be immortal.
Which
and I feel like they kept saying that.
In season 4, he's pulling the pubes, and it's like gray, and he's like, "You're aging." So they do set that up,
right? And so and again, maybe they didn't explain it all the way, but I watching it could infer that, like, yes, like it's just to be immortal. Like,
I think most people infer it too, but some people, like, I see a lot of tweets, like people are like, "Oh, he should be more powerful now." I'm like, do you even watch? There's a joke where it's like, boys, like, don't fuck with us boys fans. We don't even watch our own show. They'd be asking the dumbest questions ever. But yeah, I mean, there's nothing much. A-Train's death was handled really well. I wish that vibe of that first episode was the whole season.
Yes.
That was like a really good episode, and like A-Train dying off Rip was nuts, and like again, Homelander's keeping up with A-Train. That was terrifying. That was like the most terrifying Homelander was, and then he can't leave the Oval Office, which was like I can kind of get away with that because it was a good scene, but you know, it's in the back of my head. I'm like, damn. And like, someone made a good point. They're like, in the earlier seasons of The Boys, there's a lot of like city shots and like them walking around the city. And after like season 3, like 4 and 5, it's a lot of just in the room talking, like in the room, and like
I actually never thought about that.
If you think about it, it's like the Oval Office, like that was it. And again, okay, one thing I will defend: people say scorched earth, you know, like how he says it. They say like, oh, that was scorched earth. Scorched earth doesn't literally mean like scorched earth. That's literally a term in military that means like to the end, like it doesn't mean like what it sounds like because people are like, oh, scorched earth, like because they walk in and he's like scorched earth, you know, and they're like, well, you should be leveling New York. No, that means like just them like actually sticking it through the whole time, which I really like. And I love that Homelander smiles. I love like it's almost like a Joker Batman thing where like they need each other almost. They don't know it. Like Butcher walks in and Homelander's like, Butcher, you remembered, you know? It's like it's funny. And I think we also one of the last scenes I want to talk about this season, unless you have another one. I think one of the best scenes in the whole show is the scene with him and that old guy. And the old guy's like, you know, gives him a pat on the back. He's like, I think you're crazy, but like, you know, I have sympathy for you. Like, I get it. And this is the first time we really see Homelander get like humanity towards him, and he lets him go. And I think like that was such a great scene. Like, I really, because there's like a tiny bit of Homelander in there that's good. You know there is. You see him in the past few seasons talk in the mirror, and he's like, you know, you kind of want to be human. You got to kill that part of you that wants to do that. And I think that was such a good scene. And we see obviously the inverse of that with Firecracker. Was that her name, right? Firecracker?
Yeah.
Because he lets her go, and she's too blind loyal, and she fucking, you know.
And so this is something you had brought up to me that I had never considered. Like, you notice how like Homelander doesn't kill people who aren't scared of him. Like that's like a plot to the entire thing. And that's and exactly, like he never he never killed him. And like that's what like I think that old guy wasn't scared of him because he was almost accepted it, and he's like, nah, like this is really.
He said he's like your heartbeat's not because they set that up too in the earlier parts of the season. When he's getting his makeup, he's like, he opens his eyes and like the girl doing her makeup, he's like, your heartbeat's going crazy, and he's literally getting just fed up that he's like, why are you guys scared of me? Like obviously we know why they're scared of him. Like he's obviously losing it, but to him he's like, I'm just like, I want to be loved and I want to do this. Like, why are you scared of me? Obviously he's dumb because he's like, like, dude, like lock in, you know what you're doing. But yeah, like. And again, like that scene with the guy, Mr. Popular, or whatever his name was, is like the scene in season 3 when him and Butcher are talking at the table. And remember, like Homelander just comes in and he's like, oh, you know, I could just kill you, blah blah blah. And it's like even Homelander's like the typical stuff. That's a really good scene too because like you see Butcher's face change because you know you see Homelander's there to talk about how shit Vought is, and Butcher knows that he's the only guy that Homelander can actually just go and talk to because Butcher doesn't idolize him and he's not scared of him. He's just like, he fucking hates him. And it's like, to Homelander, that's like, you know, whatever. I love those scenes where you see like Homelander's not killing anyone. Like it's almost more scary because like you don't really know
what he's thinking.
I love that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think what's the last thing is Sage goes to Harry Potter world, which cool ending, I get it, but I feel like she didn't deserve that good of an ending because she's literally the one who told Homelander to do these internment camps for these like humans, and she just fucks off.
Yeah. And then all of a sudden she's like, yeah, actually Homelander's crazy. Like I got a plan though. To
right,
kill him now.
But it's like, oh, you can't. You know, her plan was weird too. It's like, okay, so you want to give Homelander V1, so then the whole world can destroy itself and you can be at peace. You know, whatever. And then the Deep died, which the Deep was funny, and the Deep's always funny. I see people genuinely liking him in the sense we all like him because he's funny and he's a meme because he's so fucking stupid. But I see people genuinely he should live. He's a rapist. He literally raped Starlight episode 1. I think people forget that that happens. He's not a good person, and I love that he's the inverse of A-Train because A-Train redeemed himself. And they gave the Deep so many opportunities to, and that was another plot hole people were talking about. Why did Starlight bring him to the ocean? She wasn't trying to kill him dying. She didn't know the ocean was against him. No, she was trying because I know she's the one who got assaulted and raped, and she's at the point now where she's she just wants to help people, and she can see, even though that's this guy who did horrible things to her, that this guy is scared of Homelander, and that's why she's Kevin. She doesn't say Deep, she says Kevin, and she says so she brought him to the beach to calm him down. That's what she was doing, and then she gave him 3 chances, and he just still says no, and he can't even admit it. And then he dies just for Ambrosia, just died. And apparently, I don't know if you saw it, the creator of the show said that octopus that kills him is Ambrosia's cousin, I guess, in the script. That's why she's say her name, Ambrosia. That was funny as shit. Yeah. But so the Deep goes out like a bitch, and yeah, I'd give this season, honestly, as a whole, a 6. But the first episode and the finale are 9s, low-key. I really like them. I think it would have been better if, well, first off, what's your rating of the season?
I'm probably a little over a 6 on the season. I'm probably more 6.5, 7 range. Okay. I did really enjoy it. I love the boys, and I do think there's a lot of cool moments. I did enjoy the whole episode where they're at that mansion with Seth Rogen and all of them. I honestly I enjoyed it just because I know who they are, and to me it added a little something. I don't know. I always enjoyed cameos like that. I
agree with you.
So,
because you're right. The boys, it's at the end of the day, it is the boys. It's funny. Yeah, there's problems with it, but I'm still enjoying it, and I'd probably go 7.
Exactly. Just talking enjoyment. It's not I was never because. And this would be random, but you know how Invincible, there's that one episode where he's in hell and it's I just don't want to watch this. There was never an episode during The Boys where it's I'm not even paying attention. I'm still locked in.
Side note, quick, before I forget, we're gonna do an Invincible episode soon. Gun to my head, you tell me the villain of that episode, the girl, the demon, I'm fucking dead. That episode's ass. Yeah. But yeah, no, you're right though. There is no there is filler episodes, which is the episode where they go into that with a mind thing, remember, and they're there, that's filler and stuff, but it's still entertaining. And exactly. I agree with you on that. Now, like I said, okay, I'll do a 6.5. I'll agree with you on that. I can see, I understand that. I think I'm being a little too cynical. Episode 1 and the finale easily to me are 9. I think episode 1 is a 10, low-key. Episode 1's really good. The finale is a 9, I think is good too. Now,
I agree with that.
What I would have done is keep that momentum from the first episode, right? And then have Homelander die in 5, maybe 5 or 6. I think maybe 6, and then have the final 2 episodes be about Butcher's descent into doing what he does, and then figuring out the whole bot thing. I think that would have been sick. I think that's what they should have done.
I completely agree. I think that makes a more well-rounded season, and I think you're right. The tempo was so good in episode 1, and then it's immediately
fall off.
You lose it. Yeah.
And then we didn't even talk about I think O-Father was pretty cool. He was pretty funny. He's he's not a man. He's not a Superman. He was funny, but then he just dies. And it's all right. But he died pretty funny with the
good ball gags.
Yeah. And then Ashley's the last person. Ashley did something they've been built because she did. A lot of people forget she did do something good already, which was she deleted the footage of Maeve being alive. So, and I'm glad she did come around at the end. But it was funny because they were all right, come with us, and she's fuck no, he'll pull my tits through my vag. That shit was. I love Ashley. She was funny. And then the scene where she was like, I'm not leaving. I'm not impeached. It just cuts to her in the car like this. That was funny. The Boys is fucking funny because it's real life. It's funny. And I love their socials because their socials are so funny as well. It's just everyone in the comments is playing along as if they're in the universe. I love it. But so that's season 5. We'll go ahead and talk about the seasons a little bit. But I want to rank them. But when we do the ranking, we'll mention the season. We'll talk about it a little bit. So we'll start at 5. Number 5 for me is season 4. Do you agree?
Yeah.
I think we're gonna have this similar list.
Yeah, number 5 is season 4. I just think season 4 just didn't
I don't remember much of it.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't either, and it's because it's forgettable. It's because it wasn't as good as the other seasons. I remember season 1 better than I remember season 4.
Yes.
And now sometimes I feel that tends to happen where it's the pilot of something is really good and memorable, and
all of season 1 was peak. I mean,
it was.
And I agree with you because it's coming off of season 3's finale, which is one of the best endings to the show, where it's like him killing the guy and everyone starts cheering and he does the smile, and then it pans to Ryan and he smiles a little bit. So now you're like, is Ryan gonna be like? Right. They shafted Ryan in the final season, by the way. He's just like fucked off for like 4 episodes, which I hate. But yeah, I agree with you. Like I don't really remember because then they do like these subplots that don't mean anything, right? So like. There's like a big subplot about Starlight having an abortion, and then that just doesn't go anywhere. And then it's Frenchie had this boyfriend, but then like
I forgot about that.
The boyfriend dies, and then they literally in that season, like him and Kimiko are like, yeah, we shouldn't be together. It just doesn't matter. It doesn't go anywhere. That's the problem. Like, and again, that's not me. I don't care if Frenchie's gay or not, because a lot of people actually just hated that because he's like bi. I don't really give a fuck about that. It's more like, where's this going?
Right.
Like, and then. We do get the iconic you and your little beaver edging in the back of your RAV4 in the car park with Buca de Pepper. Like that was like again, that's what you mentioned where it's like even like the worst season of The Boys is like just fucking fun. Yeah, you don't really get like much until the end. I mean, you get the scene where they're in like the Tony Stark ripoff guy, and then Huey just gets like raped. Like my biggest gripe is like they play off like Starlight's sexual assault really well and serious, and then like Huey's over here getting like fucking raped, like sexually assaulted like every episode, like he was the spider guy, and then like we're forgetting they had the shapeshifter as Starlight. Yep. They have sex like 20 times, and then Starlight gets mad at him. What? Like Huey's like literally she has my memories, like she has your memories, like as if like and then Starlight comes around a little later, but it's like Starlight, of all people, like, you should understand this, like that pissed me the fuck off. Like that's why I mentioned earlier in the episode. I have not cared about their relationship since like season 3, because I don't know what happened after season 3, but Starlight just started acting really fucking weird, and Huey started like almost not like it almost looked like Huey just didn't care for Starlight anymore. Any of their scenes, like low key, I was just like, all right, like I don't like I know they're gonna get together at the end, so it's like what's the point of this arguing at this point? And then that's really it for season 4. I mean, season 4 ends with. Where the fuck does season 4 end? With the government giving them powers, but what's the final like fight of season 4?
I don't even know if I can remember
that. Newman dies to Butcher.
That's right.
Which was pretty cool. We see Butcher's power. Oh yeah, and Butcher has the whole hallucinations the whole time, and that's really. And we find out about the virus. That was really about it. I know we're forgetting some shit, but that's like. You shouldn't forget in The Boys. But season 4 is the end. Do you have anything else to talk about it, or you want to go to number 4?
We don't have to talk about season 4 anymore.
Number 4, I'm going to put season 5. I am going to do it.
I think so as well.
You agree? I think we're going to have a similar list.
Yeah.
It's not, the lowest season of The Boys is still entertaining. Like, season 4, you had all these memes. You had, like, the good stuff with Homelander carrying, like, Homelander's really just figuring out he's old. In this season, again, we just talked about it, so we don't talk about it much, but it is the final season. I feel like they were doing a bunch of bullshit. And that's it. I mean, I don't like they really harped on Soldier Boy too much because of this like Vought Rising show, in my opinion. So I feel like it could have been much better. But the good was really fucking good. Like the episode 1 and the finale is some of the best boys we've got, in my opinion. So I think it was good.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I mean, I think like without the finale and first episode, like it's a different conversation where it's like the worst.
Yes, I agree.
But I think the problem with season 5 is the highs are really high, the lows are really low. And so, unfortunately, I think like it being the 4th best season of 5 is where it has to stand.
Yes.
Which is unfortunate, but at the end of the day, like they didn't do like the whole season justice. Is like what it could have been. So.
And those 2 episodes do carry because 4 is not bad. When we say the worst season of The Boys, I really don't think there's a bad season of The Boys. I think 4 is like just mid.
Yeah.
Right. This season has highs that carry it to number 4, and then let's just get into it. Number 3. It's gonna be season 2 for me.
See, I might go season 2 as well. Like after talking like Hero Gasm season 3, like I think I agree. Yeah, I think season 2 is probably has to slide
now,
to 3.
Well, I mentioned this to you before the episode. The back half of season 2 is probably like some of the best boys we've ever gotten, with like the Stormfront fight and Homelander killing those guys to find out Ryan and stuff. But the first half, I mean, the whole season's really good because we get like the fight where the Deep's on the whale and they just fucking pierce it with the bow, and like Stormfront's just racist as shit, like just kill. And this is like where you first start seeing like A-Train, like what the fuck, like this is like the first little inklings of it. But yeah, this season was pretty good. This is like. Again, this is the first Boys I saw and you saw. This is the finale, and it just this is back when the Boys still felt a little more grounded. Like and we'll get into this in season 1, but like season 1 and 2 Homelander was like really like smart and like more like of a character. Obviously he's losing his mind as the show goes on, but like it's cool to see Homelander like this. Like he's like, you know, he does like Ryan. I do think he cares for Ryan, but you know, obviously in his own demented ways, and Becca ends up dying, which sets Butcher on a whole nother path of the whole show. And there's really not much for me to talk about 2, because like I feel like people don't talk about 2 as much as like other seasons. Again,
like 2 is what got me into the show. Like I will say that like that scene with Homelander like ripping everybody to pieces is like some of the best we see. Again, that's what we wanted to see. Like for the people that wanted to see Homelander go crazy, which
sucks.
I know
they cut outside. I want to see like when Omni-Man did that shit in the season 1, where it's like, where's Mark?
And that's what we deserve. But we got to see, you know, at least the carnage that like he can really do, which we know he's capable of, but he never really like lets go like that. And I do understand the people that wanted to see something like that in season 5, because we really never saw him just like eradicate and just like be like a doomsday type of person. And so I can understand, just because it's like fan service wise, but again, I still agree with how season 5 went down, and I am glad that season 2 we got to see a little bit of like this crazy side with that.
You just brought up a good mention. The episode, we're forgetting one of the best episodes of The Boys ever in season 4. Going back to season 4 for a second, which is when he goes to the lab. It's the whole Homelander episode, and he goes to the lab, and that, I can't believe we forgot about that, because in my opinion, that's one of the best Boys episodes ever. That's one of the best acting performances in the whole show from Anthony Starr, and to just see him like with these people, and he's just like, you know, you could tell he's actually hurt, but you know, he kills them. That's like the only time I was like, all right, Homelander, you're justified in what you're doing here, because those people fucking deserve it. Like yeah, Homelander's a piece of shit, but like literally, like the guy was making fun of him as a teen, like jerking off in front of everyone. Like I would kill him too. So I think that was a really good 100%. Fucking episode. We forgot that was like the best episode of the whole season 4 in my opinion. Sorry, but we'll go to. I don't really have much to say about 2 anymore, but so we'll go to number 2, which is I think we have the same list. Season 3, number 2.
Yeah, season 3, number 2.
So for me, season 3 and 1 flip flop, because I think 3 was like the peak of The Boys, where 1, that's where I got into it, but that was like summer 2022, and I remember everyone was posting about Soldier Boy, like Fab Five Freddy told me. I remember like that was like probably the peak of like the Boys community. I feel like that was, and that season was so good. Like Herogasm is probably the best episode in the whole show.
That's like the best like mini arc we got over the course of the entire show.
So good.
Everything about it was fantastic.
That fight is probably the best fight in the whole show.
Without a doubt.
And you, because that was the first time we see Homelander bruised, and we see him like scared, and he flies away, and Soldier Boy just like, when MM throws that canister at him, he picks it up and smokes it. Like that dude was exuding aura the whole season. He was great. Like I think like he's such a different character in 5.
Yeah, he is.
Like in this season, he has PTSD. You do kind of care for him a little bit, because he's like, you know, I got fucked over. Then Butcher fucks him over as well, which was a very controversial thing. But again, Butcher cares for Ryan, and it's one of those things where like he doesn't like. At the end of the day, Ryan could die, but Becca's dying wish was, you know, he's not Homelander. You know, keep him alive. So I get Butcher's like turmoil there, and we have Maeve, which I miss Maeve. I sucks that Maeve never came. I want to see a shot of, now she retired from acting, but when Homelander dies on TV, I wanted to see a shot of her watching it, just be like, fuck you. That shit would have been lit. You know, she was cheering.
And it only needed to be one scene,
right?
Like, it would have been kind of cool,
which, you know, you can't force her, but come on, a 30-second scene, we'll pay you $50K, whatever, come on.
Right.
But yeah, this season, like, I think this is A-Train's start of the big redemption, where the racist guy goes in there, paralyzes his brother, and then he picks him up at Herogasm and drags him. And this is where MM and the sausage dudes start really fighting. They hate each other. I love that MM killed him in season 5. They've had beef like the whole season, like the whole show. And then MM gets just like, you know, we can't really talk about Herogasm on YouTube, because it's like it's insane. But just the idea of that. I remember Herogasm came out, and everyone online was talking about it. I mean, it was like the build-up, and this is where we see Homelander kind of start realizing, like, you know, I can really, like, this is where we start really seeing Homelander, because what held Homelander back in the first 3 seasons was, like, his need for love, and his need for, like, and then, like, you know, he has that in Ryan, and he kills the guy at the end, which I still think this is one of the best scenes in the whole show, where he kills the guy, and everyone starts cheering, and he starts smiling with the music going, like, dun, 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 dun. And then his theme is really fucking good too, because it's like it's not like a normal theme where it's like flowing. It's like dun dun dun, because that's how Homelander is, exactly. Yes. So this is where he starts getting a little dangerous, because he's like, oh, I can really kind of do whatever I want, like here, and season's so good. I loved it. And then them rescuing Soldier Boy, and the idea of Butcher having like powers and like him like fucking beating gunpowder and Huey taking it, and then Huey like then them finding out you'll get brain cancer, and then like him still like not telling Huey. That was crazy as well. But yeah, season 3 was fucking really good. What do you anything you have to say for it? I don't know.
I mean, no. I feel like you kind of hit all the highlights there. I mean, it was a really good season. Yeah, there's not much we can physically say about Herogasm, but you know,
I can't show anything either. I mean, shit.
No clips.
Even like the good combos where like Huey's talking to A-Train, remember, and A-Train's like, I'm really fucking sorry, dude. Like, now I know, like, what loss is. And, like, I can't even show that scene because there's tits, right? Like, someone's getting fucked, like, right in the background. It's, like, it's such a weird concept, but only the boys can do. And
right.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I cut you off, but I had to say that.
You're good. But, yeah, I think season 3 was phenomenal. And, yeah, I think, I don't have any complaints out that I can remember about that whole season. Like, I think it really, like, picked off, like, you know, it started stronger than 2, and it, like, held momentum the entire time. Like, I think every episode that was, like... And that's, like, the first season, I think me and you both, like, got to watch as it was coming out, because we had caught up on season 1 and 2.
Yes.
And so...
Right before 3 came out.
And so it was, like, every episode... And again, like, I was kind of like this on the most recent season, but, like, I couldn't wait for the next episode of season 3. It was, like, every time the episode dropped, I'm like, I need the next episode.
That was peak, like, what the fuck's gonna happen, and we didn't really know, because, like, again, like, obviously with any of the seasons, and then... Yeah, this was where you really start seeing Homelander lose it. This is where you see the scene of him in the mirror, and even the beginning where he's saying apologies for whatever happened, and it's just showing like all these scenes of him doing it. He's like really starting to lose it. That was cool as well. That was like when we first started seeing Homelander not like go to crazy a little bit. And this was just peak all around. I mean, everyone was at their peak in this season, I feel like. I mean, but yeah, that's season 3, and obviously number 1 is season 1. When you watch this show, this season 1 has such a different feel that I wish they kept. Like, it's still gritty, but it's realistic. And again, if you watch season 1, there's a lot of shots of like downtown New York, which sucks. You literally go to season 4 and 5, just everyone in a room talking all the time. Back then, they're like Huey and Butcher are walking down the street in New York. They're talking. I wish we got. It's almost like the budget was bigger then, which is crazy. Which I guess makes sense because it's whatever. But this is like gritty. Homelander is probably the most terrifying he's ever been in this season, in my opinion. Like, you remember the scene where they had Translucent and he's looking at them through the window talking, and they see him mouth Homelander and he starts smiling, and then like the footage camera just sees him zipping like that. Like Homelander was fucking scary in this season because he's smart. He's like, we found and then we didn't even mention Flight 37, which starts in this show where they don't say. That's probably one of the that's probably one of the best scenes in the whole show. We're seeing him like in Maeve, and he's like. And I love how she's like, you can just pick the plane up. He's like, and he just doesn't even want to try it. He just doesn't give a fuck. Like, and it's so ironic because he wants to be loved. It's like, Homelander, it's so easy for you to be loved if you just do the right thing, and that's what he doesn't get. And then the only thing I don't like, which again in season 3 we just talked about, when she's like threatening to release the video, and he's like, do it. I'll start with the nerve centers, then I'll take down the Pentagon, and then they release it in the beginning of season 5. Sage stops him, but it's like he was about to laser the crowd. I think he should have fucking did it. Like.
And, like, I hate, because, and, like, I don't know if this was always the plan on how they were going to deal with it, but they're just like, oh, yeah, AI is getting crazy nowadays. And, like, I don't know if we're a victim of, like, you know, how, like, obviously, you know, in society right now, like, AI is crazy, and, like, these videos look very real. And, like, I kind of hate that was just, like, like, that video's AI, like, that's not real. And, then, like, it feels like a really lazy way for them to just write that off when that was, like, such a pivotal thing. That video existed for such a long time, and then it finally gets released, and it ends up not being a big deal. She calms him down, like, oh, we'll just say it was AI.
That was built up through the whole show.
Literally the whole show. And so that's something. Okay, that is something I mentioned. Like, I wanted to mention. Like, yeah, like one of the other things that's like bad about season 5. That particularly upsets me, just because it just feels so lazy to be like, oh yeah, like that video is like, oh yeah, AI is crazy nowadays.
It's
like,
lazy, but then a part of me also can be like, okay, that makes sense, because a lot of like. Government agencies are actually doing that nowadays, where it's like, but then again, like, you could have done that with something else. Like, we have that scene in season 3 where she's threatening to release it, and that's literally the first time where he's like, do it. Then I'll have nothing to lose. Then I'll start with the nerve centers. I'll start with the electricity. I'll fucking take the Pentagon down, and then I'll level New York. So then you released it, and I get now Sage wasn't there, and I get now Sage is there, so she's controlling him a little bit. But I don't know, you can't, like, I feel like that should have been, like, I feel like they could have easily done it like we said, our original, like our plan for season 5, which would have been him dying in episode 6-ish, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like you could have had this flight episode come out in like episode 3. Like imagine like in the middle of this, and that's where, and then we get 2 episodes of him just fucking going crazy.
Right.
I don't know if you saw this video going around. Even I think Anthony Starr liked it. It's like this. It's like a AI, like a CGI video, and it's like one of those like old school like computer voices where it's like, "Don't look in the sky." It's fucking creepy because it's like, "Don't if you see red, run." And it's like an emergency broadcast, and it's like you see like the beam go up, and then you see like hide. He can't see through zinc. That shit was. I wish we got creepy ass Homelander.
Yes.
Again, I can see both sides though. Like just to play devil's advocate, I can see that he doesn't deserve that. But then again, you are building up to this. I mean, season 2, there's that scene of him with the crowd, and he lasers all of them, and you're like, and then it cuts to him just snapping back to reality. Like they're teasing this. I just at least one scene of him going crazy, right. Especially with Flight 35. Even if he killed that whole room, that would have been enough for me to be like, but we see it. That's the thing. He did do a lot of fucked up things. Like he killed the scientists and he killed those guys in the house. We never saw it, so it would have been such a crazy thing that like you expect the camera to switch and it doesn't, and we see him do it. I feel like we needed that. Yeah. Really, especially with the Flight 37, which has been there since season 1. But I like the premiere of season 1 as well, where all like you're kind of getting into this world of Soups being shit, and then Homelander's there, and they mention in episode 1, Butcher's like, I got nothing on Homelander, like he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, and you think he's like, wow, he's a good guy, and then it ends with him lasering that private jet, and then you're like, oh, he's just like everyone else. That's so fucking good.
That is something I wanted to bring up 100%, because we're seeing Homelander, and it's like you don't know if he's bad or not until that. Because
his perception's still good. Like at that point, that's like probably the best he's ever looked, because he's never really fucked up.
Exactly.
Because he had Madeline like kind of coddling him, and I hate that Madeline died in season 1. I feel like she could have easily been around. I think the creators said like it was too late, but like they saw like how good she was with Homelander, they could have kept her around because she controlled Homelander honestly. But she is the epitome of the problem with Vought, because she was literally trying to control him with emotion, and it's just like then he grew out of that, and then what do? You're fucked.
But like I will say that is the start of like the continuity we see of him killing people who are scared of him.
Yes.
So it's kind of hard. Like she was terrified of him.
She says that, right? When she has the bomb, she's like, "I'm fucking terrified of you," and he just, you know.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
he never killed Stan Edgar. Edgar was like,
he was never scared of him.
He's like, "You are a failed product." That shit was tough. I love Stan Edgar as much 100%. As a dick he is. But yeah, this season just feels so like translucent. Like them killing translucent too. Like it was gory as well, and just the repercussions. I'm trying to think of like stuff that happened through season 1. Like you see Starlight just like the typical hero in like a Marvel show, like she just wants to do good, but she's in this inverse of the Marvel world where you don't do, like it's all staged, and I love that because like, and then was this the season where Homelander leaked that Maeve was bi, or was that season 2 or 3? It was one of those. That was one of the later seasons, and that's like it's so like that's like how people do it nowadays, where it's like it's just like season 1 was the best at showing how these corporations are, and I'm trying to think of like other stuff because there's a lot in this season, like Starlight defecting, and then Butcher meeting Huey and just explaining all this stuff to him, and just Homelander in this season was moving like deviantly around, and there's that scene where they're filming him in the bedroom, remember, and he has to like fake it, and then she gives him milk, you know. It's like, and we find out Becca's alive, which is fucking crazy.
Yes.
I think that's really it. Yeah, season 1, I mean, is the best season.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wish they kept it like. I understand Homelander losing his sanity more and more. I understand that. I think they did it pretty well. But I just wish they kept like other stuff kind of gritty a little bit. And I know it's hard to teeter the line between like becoming what you're making fun of in Marvel, because they're almost doing that now. Where they call it the VCU.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, come on, now we're just like Marvel, the thing you're making fun of. But and then what was the Deep doing? I'm trying to think of like there's stuff I want to talk about in this season, but it's again we haven't seen it in so long. That's really the Deep's a fucking idiot, and yeah, this is the only time you have a full 7. I think maybe the best scene in the whole show, maybe top 5, when they're in the stands and Homelander's there and everyone's looking forward and Butcher turns around and stares. That shit, I was getting fucking hype watching that shit. I was like, this is it, and that's probably one. I keep saying scenes are the best in the show, but I think genuinely that scene is like that scene. Unironically, that scene. And the scene in season 5 where him and that old guy talk and he lets him go are probably one of my 2 favorites, just because like it's something so real and so different that it's just so aura. I love that fucking show.
It was phenomenal. Absolutely.
Do you think I think we'll lead with or end with. Do you think any of the Gen V seasons beat any of the seasons of The Boys?
I do think they do, just on how weak
Both
season 4 is. I think season 1. I think season 1 again.
You think 2's
really like
not as good as 1? Because I think so.
Yeah, I agree. I think season 1 of Gen V was like really good, and like I love the concept of Gen V because like I don't know, you've obviously seen Sky High, right?
Yes.
Is like Sky High with the boys.
Yes.
And so that's why I was so excited for it to continue because I feel like Sky High. This is a topic for another time. Sky High did not get expanded on enough.
No,
like,
I just watched a video on Sky High like 3 days ago, which is so funny you mentioned that. I agree. Sky High was fucking lit.
Like that.
Kurt Russell's in there. Yeah, that. We gotta do a whole video.
Yeah, that's a whole conversation for another time. But I just like that feel, and like it just brought like a different light because obviously we had only seen like soups that were basically just like part of VOT, and at that point, that's like a whole school for like growing soups, and so like there was a lot of very very good scenes in it, and so I do think season 1 is better than season 4 of The Boys.
I agree with that. I think season 2 wasn't as good as 1. Especially with like Godolkin was super cool, but then they just kill him like instantly, which I didn't really fucking like. But I think the one guy in season 2 carried Cypher. He carried that fucking season. He was such a good villain. Like even though he wasn't really the villain, like he was like it was one of those things where like that's the same character technically as Godolkin, but then the real Godolkin comes out, you're just like Cypher was better. Like, I don't know, you're not moving the same.
Right.
But season 1, like I love that the Dean had a husband on Flight 37, and that's why she's like the butcher. I remember I think that's better than season 4. And there's arguments to be made that overall it could be better than 5, but 5's high points are just really fucking high, so I don't think that. But then you get, like, that's the start of the virus, and this is the first time we really start seeing something that could actually kill soups, because, like, Soulja Boy wasn't what we wanted, and then, I really like that not everyone was a dick, because I remember, like, when the first episode came out, I remember she was getting in with, like, Golden Boy or whatever, and that whole crowd, and, who's the Magneto type guy? The actor died, which fucking sucks. I really like this character a lot. Yeah. I forgot his name. Whatever.
Terrible names.
Fuck. Yeah, but I remember when they first did that, I thought they were gonna do the regular trope of like, oh, the popular people are like assholes.
Yeah.
And they're not. I'm gonna say Chance. That's Magneto, the black kid's character. I forgot his name in the show. His character was really nice. He wasn't a dick. And Golden Boy wasn't a dick either. He was like a really, really nice guy who just cared for his brother, which I really like. Now, Kate, she's bad as fuck. But she was obviously kind of a villain, but she's manipulated a lot by a lot of people, by both Deans. I mean, if you think about it, it was that Dean and we see Homelander fly in. I love when Homelander flies in, and it's like a triumphant thing. And then when you see him in frame, it trails off because it's like that's just Homelander, and and then he just lasers her, and then he like spins it, and that was crazy. And we see Butcher in the end credit scene get the virus. I was like, oh fuck. Yeah, I agree with you on that. Gen V, I wish we saw more. I mean, there's no way we don't see more of these characters. I don't think they got to make a project for this.
There's too much invested there to not at least try to take it somewhere. So, and like those characters do, I feel like have a lot of like promise, and like they could do something for sure.
Even in their own show, or I don't know if I think it got canceled because of low ratings, but I feel like there's something else that was going on behind the scenes that like they canceled. Like, I don't get why they would. I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid, but yeah. I mean, I think The Boys is a great universe. I think this was something special. I'm gonna miss it. Because I really. God, Jan's watching some. I'm gonna really miss like just like even like the social medias, like just how like every episode they would be like A Train defected and they're like, oh, he's on a sabbatical in France, like that shit. And everyone's like, haven't heard from Homelander in a while. What's going on? Like, or he's like, where's the Deep? Like, I just love. I'm gonna miss that a lot, and I hope this, as much shit as I talk about it, I hope the spinoffs are good. VOT Rising, as much as I shit on, I don't know if you've seen the trailer, like. It does look good, and the production value looks really fucking high. And I think it's going to be cool to see VOT's makings and stuff, and obviously Stormfront's back, and I think that's going to be cool. But, the main boys will never be topped, and it sucks it's gone, but I think it could have ended way worse, so.
Yeah, I agree. And, like, my thing about The Boys and, like, where my love from it comes is just, like, I feel like we've always seen one type of, like, superhero movie or one type of superhero show, and so I think this is the most like accurate, like like they portray it the most like realistic to what like how society would be about it. Like
corporations, yes, 100%.
Exactly, corporations, like it's bought out, like it's fake, like but it's so sold to us to like believe like what we see, and then in reality they're making fake saves. Like they're actually terrible people. They have addictions. Like they have problems like a regular person do. Because I feel like normally we just see these people who are superheroes just have, you know, they don't drink, they don't like, you know, they're like the like stand up, the most stand up guy ever. And so I just think The Boys is such a cool representation of like what it like unfortunately would probably look like in the real world. And like I do think there's so many things like that are so unique to it. Obviously, like some scenes we can't talk about Hero Gasm and like the first time they go to like wherever it is, like the underground market or where I don't remember where they went, where they saw like the same guy again, where the guy got like small and then he's jumping
in the dick or whatever. Yeah. And I can see why people wouldn't want to watch this show. My friend, I'm not gonna say who, but my friend's girlfriend doesn't like gore and stuff, but I'm not gonna like I understand because this show does like it's either you get it or you don't. So I can see both sides. It's just something where like it's so interesting because like even though like even the sexual shit can be a lot or like the gore, but that's something like if everyone had superpowers, like you're gonna see a hero, like you're gonna see shit like this. I do think in real life. Me being glass half full, I would like to think we don't eat up that corporate shit as much as they do in the Boys universe. But then again, like you know I feel like we're getting a little better because our generation's now teetering AI, so we really have to know what's real and what's not. But yeah, I agree with you. It's something that it's just so unique as well and fresh. And we're not shitting on Marvel or anything, but it's like it's nice to have something like this. And again, Invincible is another example of 100%. That, which we'll talk about in another episode. But 100%. This was something unique. I don't think we'll ever see something like it again. And it sucks whenever you see Homelander again. Oh, I meant like Homelander's memes alone were like goated. I mean, that's again, he needs work. He's a really good fucking actor. But is there anything else you want to say, or is that? The Boys. No, I
mean, I think that's The Boys. You know, it was a really good run for 5 seasons, and
it's gone.
You know, it wrapped up in a good way, which I'm glad, and it was a good ride. I mean, we've been watching it for like 6 years now.
Yep.
So it does suck to see it go, but I'm also glad it didn't get dragged out. No. You know, because that does tend to happen to some shows and some movie franchises, and so. I do think we were getting to that point where they were dragging it out, and so
if they ended at people said if they ended at season 3, it could have been like probably the best, like one of the best shows ever made. But you could feel them kind of almost dragging out 4 and 5 just to do it because it's like. But I'm glad they kept Homelander till the end. Like people were like they should go Homelander. I'm like you don't have a show without Homelander. I'm sorry, but I agree with you. What a show! What a show! Sorry to see you go, but thank you guys so much for watching. Logan will be back. We will be talking about Invincible probably. 100%. Next week's episode, we're going to talk Invincible. And yeah, as always, it's been Joey.
Logan. Yeah, and I was Logan.
See you later. Bye-bye.